Welcome to Season 2, Episode 3 of the Art Brunch Archives. Every week on Twitch, we bring in a new contemporary artist to talk about their work, drink, and hang out. I'm the host of Art Brunch, Rick Bowling. The most recent Art Brunch episodes are exclusively on Twitch for 2 weeks. But every week, we're uploading an edited show to podcast and YouTube. YouTube will host the art part of the conversation so you can see which slides we are referring to. If you want to hear all of the hijinks of the show, you need to check out the podcast. Please take a moment right now to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode. And lastly, I gotta plug watching the show with our awesome community on Twitch. It's really the way the show's intended to be. So all of those links and more are available in the description below. Our guest this week is Justin Washington. His bio reads, Justin is a designer, poet, and painter. In the designer aspect, he's interested in typography and creating illusions. As a poet, he's written a total of 4 books. 2 of the books are based on spirituality and love. The other 2 break down the male and female process of what it's like to be loved and gaslighted. As a painter, Justin has stuck to one style, which is abstract art. It's the only style that allows him to feel free. Our conversation with Justin was a lot of fun. I think you're really going to like it, and I hope you enjoy the show. As a primer to the art conversation that we'll get into, you sent over one of my favorite photos any guest has ever sent over, and I'm just gonna bring it up here and ask you to kind of talk about it a little bit.
Which one's that one?
This is the one here. This is, I think you sent this over to me as the title, My First Painting Experience.
Wow. Oh.
And
okay. I see why you said that.
I love it. I love it. I think that, sorry, let me just adjust this camera here real quick. All right. Who knows, sometimes technology hates me.
There we go.
There we go. It's Justin. And I think it's great because, a lot of times I like to talk to people about their work. When I talk to them about their work, I think that their creative upbringings are super important. Plus, this photo is just, dope, and that's the best painting. I mean, that's a painting that's hard to come back from. Sometimes you make something.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And you set yourself up for failure with how good it is.
You peaked early, man. What the hell?
Early, yeah. I mean, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, at that age, I didn't even know what failure was. I'm just like,
yeah,
what?
Man.
Let me put some X's.
Getting in there.
But, yeah, I know.
Which I'm a big fan of. So you were. Did you feel like? I don't know. I'm just curious about kind of how painting started for you, or how creativity started for you, from like what you remember about creativity before you were 10, really early in your life.
Ooh. Oh man, I did some messed up things. I mean, I used to draw on the walls when I was a kid. I mean, that's where it all really started.
Yeah.
Drawing on the walls with some crayons. You get some blueberries, mash those on the wall as well. I mean,
multimedia.
I mean, that's where it kind of started, drawing on the walls. I I mean, I always got in trouble, but
yeah,
it was very satisfying to draw on the walls. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys probably drew on the walls before when you guys were kids.
I did not.
But oh, you didn't?
No,
oh, okay.
I think this is unique to you.
I must have been alone on that one.
Well,
yeah.
It's funny because this happens every time we have this conversation, right? Is it artists talk about their childhood, their creativity in their childhood is oh, everybody did this. But I've had guests on that were yeah, I just drew the normal kid stuff, eyeballs. And I'm I never drew an eyeball when I was a kid.
Right, I never did that.
I drew cars, and somebody's the normal stuff, snakes and lizards. And I'm bro, I've never driven. I've definitely never driven. I've never drawn a lizard in my life. Nikono,
right.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Nikono says, I draw on walls. So see? Yeah, it's
see?
There's a vibe there.
Right.
So yeah,
a certain kind of artist.
Thanks for sharing that. So then you were drawing on the walls and you knew you were going to get in trouble, but also you said it was really satisfying for you.
Yeah, it was satisfying for sure. And then like one day my dad just got me like an easel so I can stop drawing on the walls. And then like he gave me like these paints, and it was just like the first time touching like paint was just like it was like amazing because it was like this different texture like I never felt before. So I'll like use my fingers. I'll also use the brush as well. But yeah, that's where it all started for real, for sure. And then I used to draw like I don't know if on that picture if you can see like there's like this little face at the bottom. I want to say the bottom of the left hand. It's like a green circle and it has eyes and has like this red. Like I used to draw that a lot. I don't know what it is, to be honest, but I used to draw those like a lot within my paintings, and then I'll just like go over with like the X's. I drew X's a lot. I don't know why. It was I guess it was something easy. And I just did it in like different colors. But yeah, that's where the whole like abstract like art really like caught my eye.
I think X is definitely the coolest letter. Like
yeah.
like I remember I had a childhood friend named Xavier, and I was like, you're cool because your name starts with an X. Like it's a pretty clear relationship between the letter X and like cool stuff.
Yeah, like exhibit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Just exhibit. That's all. He's the coolest. That's it. How old are you here, by the way, Justin?
I'm 25.
Oh, how old?
I don't. I thought you talking about. Oh, okay. I don't know. I was probably. Yeah, I thought you talking. I thought you talking
good
about
for
like
25, bro.
No. I don't know. I think I was probably like 6, maybe.
Okay.
6 or 7. I don't know. I don't even know if I was even that old.
Yeah.
I was probably like 5, 6, around that age.
And is that your art shirt? Your big art shirt?
Yeah, that's like one of. Yeah. So that's like one of my. Yeah, that's like one of my dad's. Like, he'll give me like these old shirts to paint in. And they're like super long, and then like I'll have like paint just like all over the shirt.
Whoa!
By the end of like me getting done painting, so
I wonder if
the
there's
canvas, like
any
the
of
canvas,
those shirts left.
Yeah, do you have those shirts still?
I don't. I think
okay.
he just like threw them away.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
No, it would be really cool to see though. Yeah, it would be really cool to see those. Yeah.
I have to interrupt to say that Nakona also wanted us to know that the hit Hollywood film Triple X starring Vin Diesel is another example of a cool X.
Oh yeah.
That's a cool X situation.
The first one, yeah. All the other ones really kind of fell away.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. So then like you were obviously like supported in your creativity by your parents, even if it was just like a way to get you to stop messing up the house.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did the experience of like did you paint a lot then after you got the easel? Like it didn't ruin the allure of painting for you now that you were like constrained to a particular space?
No, yeah, I kept going with it. I did stop when I probably stopped when I was 10 actually. And then another big part of like I'm gonna take this to like into more. So like my mom used to draw. Well, she still does. She would draw like these abstract like figures and like these like characters with like she would do like watercolor, and that kind of like introduced me with like watercolor and like. What's it called? It was watercolor. She'll use watercolor and color pencils, and she'll like use them both together, and that like also like helped me get back into like doing like abstract art. Like she'll do that a lot. But yeah, I stopped actually painting after I was 10, and then when I got into, I'll say all the way until I got into college, I like started painting again.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you switch to at 10?
Wait, what? Oh, wait, say it again.
Oh, what did you switch to at 10? Like what took your interest after that?
I mean, like cars, really. Like it went from like painting to like cars. I was just like, I like that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
You're speaking rich language
like
there.
Yeah.
Some gearheads up in here for sure. Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah. That's great. Well then, yeah. I mean, I think this is even a good point to take a quick break then. So we talked about some of those upbringings, and then you said you switched back to it in college, and I'm sure that there's kind of a story there about that rediscovery that we can come back
Oh yeah,
to
for
when we
sure.
come back from the break. Where we left off is we were talking about Justin's early life and creativity in his early life. We had a great photo of him painting as about a 6-year-old. And then Justin was saying that he stopped painting at around 10 and didn't return to painting until he was in college. So I think maybe we can move kind of into that space there. And I wonder, like, when this kind of creativity started to creep back into your life.
Yeah, so I would say I was 17. I just started like college at this community college, and it was this teacher there. I was taking like basic design classes,
Mm-hmm.
and we had like we was doing like a lot of projects. She was like, you either you can do like wet media, um, or like you can do like digital. So like I was doing like a lot of things digital, and I was like, man, I really don't want to get my hands dirty. I don't like the way it feels, even though that's kind of weird because when I was a kid, I liked the way the paint feel
Yeah.
on like on my hands. But like as I got older, I was like, man, I don't like that on my the way it dries with my hands. I gotta wash my hands. Like it takes forever to get off. So we had this project. We had to make a color wheel um, out of like maybe 3 or 4 colors, and I took this temporary blind and I cut it, and it was like this long line of like it was just like a long line of colors, and I was like gessoing like the temporary blind, and in the middle of I was like really enjoying it. I was like, man, this is really satisfying.
Mm.
Like I got those recurring feelings that I had when I was a kid, and I was like, oh man, this feels good. I was just like listening to music. I was like painting, and then like when it was time to like present like the project, I like took it home. I painted it. I came back like a couple days later, um, and she was like, in like during the critique, she was like, Did you secretly enjoy painting this?" I was like then everybody was like looking at me. I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." And then it was just like, so from there, she like really opened my eyes back up to the world of painting because she showed me so much, like as far as like mixing colors, like really watering down like the paint, and it was just like this whole universe of like something I didn't know existed. So she was like mainly the person that like really opened my eyes back up, and then I just took that bit and I just took it from like there, and then like I expanded it so much and like made it my own.
Yeah. Yeah, was it difficult to um kind of like start to rethink of yourself as a painter? Like what was it like to go from this eye-opening experience to then like accepting it back as kind of like a part of you? Because it was at one point and then it wasn't, and then you had this kind of eye-opening experience. And then did you struggle at all at like re-accepting it, or was that like a really fluid process?
No, that was a real fluid process. I think right then and there I accepted it, like
Mm.
to be like a full on like painter. Um, yeah, no, right then and there when she said, "Do you like secretly loved it?" I was like, I most definitely love
Mm.
painting, like in that style. Um, but yeah, it was no struggle at all. It was clear on what I wanted to do was right there.
And you continued with the design path as well. You didn't
Oh
you
yeah,
didn't
for
leave that
sure.
behind.
No,
So
so I
then,
kind of like
yeah,
mixed
go
both of
ahead.
them together. Yeah, yeah. So I kind of like mixed both of them together. Like I took like how I understand color and I use it within like my design style, which is my design style is still abstract, but I can still do like normal like design, like which use. I mean like my style within design, it deals with like a lot of like typography, but I also design like I still design like those abstract figures and objects within like my process of design.
Mm. And you briefly mentioned that you bring with you the color, the way you understand color with you into
Hmm.
your design practice, and I think I'm curious. I think color is a really important part of your painting practice.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
I want to kind of zoom in on that then, as like where does this understanding of color um, begin for you, or what do you mean by like you can bring your understanding of color?
So like when I think of color, I mean it's so different for me because I feel like colors almost have like this emotion that comes with it,
Hmm.
and I only use certain like colors within my work. Like with
Hmm.
my painting, I use like a lot of blues and greens and like almost like a lot of like earth tone colors. Um, like what you see out like every day, like the sky is blue. That you can look at like there's different like plants that are different colors. I look at that. I'm like, ooh, I like that. So I use that within like my painting. So I use a lot of greens, blues. I use black, white, orange is really big. I use pink. Um, I use like almost all the colors, but I also like make my own colors as well if I can't like find the color. Um, but yeah, it all goes back to like being with nature. Like what I see in the real world, I use it in like my art.
Hmm.
For sure.
Yeah,
I have to say, just as a quick note, it does sound like your horoscope says, choose what you say, you choose your what
that's
with
true.
color with a great deal of thought. You are
Yeah,
extra precious but sharp with it. So
Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
it
yeah,
does make a lot of sense.
yeah. That's a good contribution, Jake. I think the uh, the sharpness. Yeah, there's a sharpness in your choice.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
one of the things that comes up for me then is there's this. I'm just flicking randomly through these photos,
Okay.
but there is like there is this nature side of things, and then you started talking about these uh, whites and blacks, and there's an interesting like chasm in your work that I see where there is
Hmm.
the painting, which is fluid painting, like the one that we have up now. Y'all can see which one
Hmm.
I have displayed. There is this like fluidity to it. But then speaking about it in contrast to the digital work, as they kind of end up in the same place, but like if we look at this piece, this is this is like very synthetic life, like synthetic digital, but it also kind of has this like nature to it. And this is a digital work, right?
Actually, I can't see the piece. I
Oh.
feel like you guys can see it, but I can't actually
Oh,
see the
okay.
piece.
If you
Which
can't see it
like the piece that you're on.
on the Discord, there should be a square that shows my screen, and you might have to just click it to
Oh, okay,
allow
yeah.
you to see
I
it.
see what you're talking
Um,
about. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
so what I was looking at before was this one, which has like is a painting and is natural and feels very natural. But then also thinking about some of these works as like
Hmm.
they're like not natural, they're like hyper natural, they're like oil slicks or like
Definitely.
these little things that exist in tiny moments in reality but aren't this big.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I can see like for this one, how you said like it was like synthetic or like in oil. Like I mean, like if you, I, I can see it being like the oil slick because now that I'm looking at it, because when I made this, it wasn't. I wasn't really thinking of. I wasn't really thinking. I was just making. Like I used like lighter shades of blue and then like some like oranges and some like white and some other colors. But I wasn't really thinking what it should be. I was in this mindset of. I was in this free mindset. So like, and when I get in this mindset, it's just like I do it. I make something, but I don't really think of what I'm making. Like if that makes sense. Like there's no real like meaning to like this piece.
Mm,
I mean,
Sure.
it can be meaning to you, but I mean, like for me, I was just like in this zone where it was just like I was free and I was just making this digital
It
painting piece, I should say.
definitely. I feel like it has like almost like going into a void sort of like liquidity, kind of
Yeah.
like hyper
Hmm.
reality, like Rick said, for sure.
Yeah.
then for you, you know, like the the immediate thing that comes up for me then is like you're accessing these same parts of your nature inside of the
Mm-hmm.
creative process. So if you were just in your void state, and you were like just making and responding to what was taking place, like in some ways that's getting close to like your nature, which is kind
Mm-hmm.
of another fun level of this uh, process of referencing
Yeah.
nature, but then like recognizing yourself as a part of that system.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was that the question? I don't
I'm
know if
just
you're still
talking.
talking. Oh, okay, okay. I mean, this piece, man. I mean, it's like, I mean, yeah, it can. I feel like it is still a part of my nature. I mean, you can probably see things in this piece and might think it's um, a part of like nature, like how like just like the movement, um, and like how like it dips and then like it goes smooth and it's like it's not as wild as some of my other pieces. It has like it almost has like a it's like almost like a playing field of
Mm,
just color, if that
Mm,
makes sense.
yeah.
gotcha.
Mm. The application or the way that I think also what is interesting, and I want to draw it back to some of the painting. Is this a painting?
Yeah, that's a painting. That's
Yeah.
a digital painting, actually.
Oh, see, okay, so this is the other thing that comes up is I get confused as I look through your work as to like what is real exists in real space and like what is digital and exists in digital space. Um, can you just talk
See, I
about that?
like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like so, like I had a lot of people when I posted this on Instagram. I had a lot of people asking me in my DMs. They're like, "Is this like a painting or is this like digital?" And it's actually like a digital piece. I just used a brush that like looked like a real like brush stroke would look like on a canvas. Um, and this piece is called rugs. Like if you ever been to like one of those huge rug stores,
Mm,
um, and when they like rugs are like so like stacked up on top of each other. So like in the painting, I like used the same stroke, and I just had like this like almost wave. Like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a wave, but it's like coming towards you. Like it's like falling, like how like a rug, like when you like release a rug and then it like tumbles down. It almost looks like that.
mm. Yeah, like a rug downstairs.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, and that gives me like the water trickling down kind of thought process of your other work. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense.
Mm.
It all ties in together.
There you go.
Skate Mom in the chat says, "I love that confusion. Really cool work." Thanks, Skate Mom. Thanks for being
Thank you,
here.
thank you.
Yeah, so that is like it, I don't know even how to talk really about that, but it's almost like these works are getting closer and closer from what I've seen from you. Like the digital
Hmm.
stuff, I think like something like this
Mm,
Hmm.
piece feels really far away in some ways from your
Hmm.
paintings now.
Hmm.
But then
Yeah.
as you kind of get to this more contemporary style of digital painting that you're making, and let me know if I have the timetables messed up, but it seems like they're converging, like they're getting closer and closer to each other as time goes on.
No, they are for sure. I was going to say something about this piece and I lost train of thought. Dang, I forgot what I was going to say. But no, they are getting closer and closer, for sure. Um, 'Cause I mean, like if you look at one of my other paintings, like the real painting, the black and red one that I sent you,
Hmm.
you can kind of see the same movement in this one, like how it dips down. Yeah, right there, how it dips down, then it comes back up, or it comes like it curves, then it goes back down,
Hmm.
and you can kind of see that in the digital painting as well. So I kind of try to use like in this work, I try to use the same like movement, because like a lot of this movement it's inspired by like water, like the movement of water in like the ocean and stuff like that, like the waves and like if you look at a stream and like you can see like the way the stream is moving like through the rocks and stuff like that.
I'm looking
So
at
yeah,
a
I try to
stream
play
right
that.
now.
We're in the stream right
We're in
now.
the stream right
exactly.
now, Justin.
That is true.
Right?
I mean, but yeah, like if you look at a river, it's like the same. It's like it has the same movement. So I try to mock what I see in nature and put it into my work.
For sure. I see that. I'll say too, I recently learned that the term fluid actually means like it's like a fourth state of matter. Like, there's a gas, a liquid, a solid, but a fluid is actually a gas and a liquid at the same time, I think.
Oh.
It's a state where it's two at once. And so I
Yeah.
feel like fluidity, I feel like makes a lot of sense. Like to me, with your work of being like, like analog, if you will, like paint, and then the digital sphere. So like those two together kind of creates like a fluid. Like if one is gas, one is liquid. Like it makes sense that those combining would make a sort of fluid state versus liquid or gas or something like that. I think that's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah. President Lincoln says, "Do you mean plasma?"
Plasma is what I'm talking about, but it's a whole thing. We won't bother folks, but plasma is a fourth state of matter for sure.
I'm still personally upset by going through the first like 3 to 5 grades of school and being told that there are only 3 types of matter, and then in middle school you get to middle school and they're like, haha, gotcha, check out the 4th one, and you're like, wait, I've been lied to.
You're like, positively charged ions, what the hell is that? Like what's that about? And then
the sun.
This is how they get to you. They just blow your 4th grade mind.
Do you feel like a force drawing these two aspects of your practice together? I almost feel like a force, and maybe this is kind of what Jake was talking about. It's like, do you feel like this draw to merge these things?
I do, for sure. I feel like it's creeping more and more to each other as I like continue to create. Because for me, it's two different spaces. So it's like you have the painting space, and then you have like the digital space. And the thing is, I'm trying to see how do I combine these two together well. I mean, like I've done it well, but I haven't done it to where I want it to be like perfect. I mean, it's that's what I've been trying to like. That's what I've been trying to like figure out.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we don't expect you to have it all figured out, Justin. I think that often these art conversations can be like, oh, I'm getting close and I'm figuring it out. And it's like, no, dude, like you're figuring it out. Like you're in the process of these rivers kind of converging. You're like at this confluence point, to take the analogy to the next level, which is a really cool space in St. Louis. If you've never been to the Confluence, you should go check it out. But there is like, you are in this space of like converging these streams, which I think is actually like really interesting in the scheme of like your creative painterly life moving forward. Is like right now, like these streams are separate, but they're getting really close, and at some point they'll potentially intermingle and be kind of this like homogenous digital and real kind of experience, or questioning like what's real and what's digital, which I think is really cool.
Right. You actually have the oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just wanted one more chance to throw in some fun science because I'm a loser.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like you're getting close to the brackish phase, which is as defined as slightly salty, as in the mixture of river water and seawater in estuaries.
Oh.
So I feel like the digital ocean maybe and the natural river waters coming together, you're getting to your brackish phase, perhaps.
That's a whole new environment.
Maybe.
Skate Mom in the chat
No, I was gonna.
says, try growing up with Pluto.
Hey, didn't we
Ooh.
all?
Yeah, R.I.P. Pluto.
R.I.P. Always playing it to me.
Yeah,
Can
no,
you imagine being downgraded from a planet? She asks.
twist. Yeah.
Biggest fall
No, I
from
was gonna
grace.
ask.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. Do you have that the painting? I sent it this morning. It was of the lid. I'm just gonna call it the lid because I don't want to give it up.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of wanted to talk about that because that also plays in a big part of
Yeah, let's
the
check it
whole
out.
painting.
Let's get that. There we go.
Yeah,
The
the toilet
lid.
seat. The
Yes.
lid. The lid is the toilet seat. In this one, I mean, you can kind of see like right down the middle. It's like almost like a river
Mm.
or like a stream. And
100%.
it goes off to the left. It goes off as like it's parting ways to another stream.
Hmm.
So I mean, and like I don't know if you can zoom in or not,
I can.
but to see. Oh, okay, you can. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that.
I feel like the details
Yeah.
and like the colors, um, like the little small bubbles are kind of like almost rocks in the stream that I've created on this Tulsi lid.
Hmm. Yeah, and Jake,
Um,
this also reminds me of stuff that you think about a lot is like music and waveform
Mm,
too, right?
absolutely. Yeah, because I, as I say often, is like I came from music first and I've been relatively new to the visual art world, but I've been welcomed and I feel very welcomed.
Hello,
But
welcome.
but no, I and Justin, I think you've definitely talked about like sine waves and or just sound waves even of just, the
yeah,
kind of the intermingling of all things with a sort of the liquid that you can talk so broadly like the liquidity of life or
yeah,
something, but um
The
I
liquid death of life.
the liquid death of
yeah.
life.
I know.
Well, I'm just curious too on these particular pieces, like did you like kind of bringing it down the middle there, just this particular one, like I think where a lot of them tend to have like one similar kind of vibe, this one seems to be
Hmm.
like kind of cut in different ways. I
Mm.
was
Like
curious,
sections,
yeah,
yeah.
about this particular one.
Actually, not like I don't see it. I made this a while ago, so I don't think I probably did pour it down the middle and then poured it in the center
Mm,
and then like kind of like moved it around to give it like this harmonic, I guess, pattern in different areas.
yeah.
Actually, I don't know if Rick has the video. I sent him a video um, of another toilet seat lid I painted, and it kind of shows not me doing it, but it shows like how it looked when the paint was wet. You can see, I guess you can see in a way how I did it, but not technically. But in this one, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I just poured it in a. I can't. It would be easier if I had a video to show you how like I did it, but uh, it's hard to it's hard to explain how I poured it if
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can't see like my hand movements. Yeah, yeah.
No, for
So
sure.
I probably did just pour it in the middle and then just like rotated the paint around, like shifted around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. So I got a couple of comments in the chat here. President Lincoln says, speaking of planets, this looks a bit like Jupiter. And Skate Mom
Ooh, I
agrees.
can see that.
For some reason, it
I
reminds
can
me of
see
a
that.
skateboard design, and she's not sure
Hmm.
why. Right? So,
Hmm.
so I think that this kind of gets to this other place in the conversation, and I have those videos. We can pull them up in a minute. But like, there's also this like question of like preciousness when it comes to these paintings. So like
Hmm.
something that I think is really important. Chris Griffin, welcome to the stream. Good to see you, buddy. Um, we're about halfway through the show, and yeah, thanks for joining. We're talking here with Justin Washington, painter, poet, designer, and probably a few more things. Just overall chill dude. So then, like, I think about preciousness a lot with paintings, and how like oftentimes as painters we can get so wrapped up in the preciousness of making and the preciousness of these objects because they're really dear to us, right? And then in some
Hmm.
ways your process of applying the paint is something that you can't really control, so that changes the level of preciousness. And then we get to a
Right.
space here where where you're making paintings on um, toilet seat lids, which then also questions like the preciousness of
Hmm.
the painting, right? And I think we can
Hmm.
think of like painters from all different walks of life kind of asking themselves like, is that a space for my painting? Are my paintings too precious for that, or are they like not
Hmm.
precious so I can put them there? And then I think that there's like this interesting conversation that you're creating with your painting. Is it like preciousness is in question because you're just making a lot and they are precious to you, but you're not controlling them. You're just kind of like sherpaing them into reality. You're just kind of like
Yeah, yeah,
bringing them,
Guiding, yes.
and
yeah,
they kind of come and go, right? So I'm curious about
yeah.
preciousness for you.
I mean, like with this one, I feel like my style of painting can go on anything. I mean, like this totally see. I feel like if you cherish and precious, and you if you cherish your bathroom, I
Yeah.
don't know. This might sound weird.
No, no,
If
this
you
I
is good.
do.
cherish,
I really do. I cherish it
if
quite a
you
bit.
if you if you cherish your bathroom, and let's say, okay, I'll just give it a scenario. Let's say you're having a party at your house,
Hmm.
and you're like you're making people walk towards a certain part of your house, and they're like, "Oh, where's the bathroom?" And they go into the bathroom, and they turn on the light, and they see this precious painting on the toilet seat, and
It's
it's just
vibes.
Jake's dying over there,
That's a vibe,
um,
Yeah,
man.
it's vibes for sure.
and it's just and it's just like they're just like, "Damn, that's a nice toilet seat." But then it's like it goes away because you like lift up the lid. But I
Sure.
mean,
Yeah.
it,
Some would say
I
like
feel
if
like
that's the
it's
experience, you have your shit together.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, no,
But
I
I mean,
mean,
like
I think it's
it's
interesting. No,
But true.
I'm not trying to like make a joke of it, but I think that
no, no,
like it is like it's one of those spaces that people don't typically think about or care about.
Right.
exactly.
Yeah. And then it's like another level of
So
like everything in my house is at this level. Like you can't find a
yeah.
corner that I'm not caring about. And
Totally.
I think that
Hmm.
that's like I think that's total vibes, and I think that it's I don't exactly know how to talk about it, but in a way like really indicative of you of like looking in all of these different spaces and finding like not to build too long of a bridge, but you talk a lot about finding like precious moments in
Hmm.
in life that don't necessarily seem precious to other people.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, I know. I totally agree with that. Um, I feel like a lot of people overlook certain things
Mm.
um, that might not seem as precious as to me. 'Cause I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, like this toilet seat. I guess this. I mean, I can say this toilet seat is precious because it has my work on it.
Hmm.
Um, and I do enjoy every time I go in my bathroom to see this painting on the toilet.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's. I feel like it could have a precious. I feel like yeah, it could have a precious. It has its moment of being precious in other people's eyes when they see it that haven't seen a toilet seat painted before. So I can see
Yeah.
that for sure. Because it's like really eye opening to see something that I like to create things that people haven't seen before, basically.
Hmm.
And like this toilet seat, I feel like no one has seen a painted toilet seat. So I mean, it's precious.
I just have a quick logistical question. So you say your current bathroom has one of your toilet seats on it?
I mean, all my bathroom, I have like three bathrooms, and every single bathroom has a painted toilet seat
Okay,
Every
cool.
bathroom
Because
he goes to.
like he'll
in
paint it when he shows up if he has
Yeah,
to.
I only you realize the luxury
it.
and how good it feels. I mean, this is a luxury that none of us know.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm a renter, so I don't know if I can do that for my own toilet seat. But Rick, if I understand you own your home,
It
so you could do that anytime you want.
it's
So
really easy to do. So I think
yeah,
that it's well within your power
yeah.
to do
Yeah.
that. What were you saying about the logistics of it, Jake?
Oh well, just I guess one, I just know if I was in the chat, not hosting the show or co-hosting that, I would feel like I just have to know like what drew you to the toilet seat? Like what's the origin story of the toilet seat as a canvas?
So like actually, I was having a rough time trying to figure out what I wanted to paint, because I was so tired of painting on like canvas and wood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I stopped painting for a little minute, and then my dad was like, "What if you paint on a toilet seat?" I'm just like, toilet seat? I'm not
So it
painting on a
was
toilet seat. And then I was
divinely
just like,
handed to you from dad.
yeah, yeah,
Paying the
yeah, yeah,
dad
yeah.
tax here for sure.
Yeah, he's like, he was like, I mean, have you seen a painted toilet seat? I'm like, no. I was like, okay, I'll take that in consideration. And then like I painted on
Yeah.
a toilet seat. And then like people liked it, and then I started selling toilet seats with my painting on it.
It's so
And
wild.
and
It's good.
more on the logistical tip, do you go out and buy them? And if you do, what's the toilet seat plug? I'm so curious where one purchases
Home
these.
Depot.
Just to say,
Yeah.
okay.
I just go to Home Depot and I just do my magic on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome,
maybe I
man.
should say magic, but yeah.
No, it's good. It's
No,
good.
it's magic,
It
man.
is magic.
Compared to the opposite, like what we're used to, which is, you know,
Yeah.
deeply commonplace toilet seats. I mean,
Hmm.
this is magic for sure.
The chat is responding very well to this. Let me read a couple of messages here.
Okay.
Let's see. So, Nakono says, honestly, painting random toilet seats would go viral on TikTok. And Skate Mom
That's true.
agrees.
They probably
Nic-
would. Now see I gotta make a TikTok with
yeah. At a
I'm
random
gonna
quick
take you
trip
guys'
in
advice.
at,
More responsibility.
at a random quick trip in Oklahoma, paint the toilet. Uh, yeah. So like, I think, yeah, and Skate Mom loves that idea as well. I think it's interesting is that like the experience that you had where you were like, oh, that doesn't make like why would I do that? And then
Yeah.
you just like took dad's advice. Nakono is
Mhm.
dead serious. Yeah, we know you're dead serious. We're dead serious too, Nakono.
About
We're
the
so dead
TikTok?
serious that we're drinking liquid death.
We're murdering our
That's-
seriousness. That's how serious we are.
Yeah, liquid death, dead serious. But no, like you don't know what's gonna work. You don't know like what's gonna get
Exactly.
the people going, and
Right.
oftentimes it's like so much different than what like what we think it's gonna be, right? Like we think these things need to look a certain way or be a certain way, and sometimes you can come across an item or an object that like feels like a throwaway or feels like an experiment to you, and you pop it on Instagram or on
Right.
TikTok, and all of a sudden like people are blowing you up and they're like,
It blows
yo,
up.
this is what I wanted. And it's like, who am I to decide what it is people want or don't want? Like, as an artist, you kind of there's like this purist mindset, which I think is cool, like for stuff that's really meaningful for you. But then other times you just like you like come across something that people respond well to, and like then you have to question your responsibility.
Right.
It's like, do I accept them responding well to this, or do I do something else?
Actually, I had like this idea. I was gonna go to like different because someone said put a toilet seat in like a quick trip. I was gonna say I was thinking about doing like a almost an installation of going to random places and
Yeah.
like installing a painted toilet seat, and then just leaving. And then like when people walk in, you're just like, oh shit, this is great. Like, what what is this?
Hell yeah.
And, like, do I like lift up the toilet seat lid, or like do I
Yeah.
just like just to have like that experience?
Well, it's like
I
the
think would be
perfect
quite
place for
nice.
vandalism. First of all, like the
Yeah.
bathroom is like the most perfect vandalized space, right?
Right.
Which is
Oh, it is for sure.
is interesting because there's like these private cubicles in public life, and people take that opportunity to like vandalize. So at any point, and toilet seats themselves are modular, so you wouldn't need to have. You just need to like go there and check which diameter of bowl they have, and you could. It's
That's
just
true.
like two screws pop them out. You know,
That's yeah.
they have like
Mm-hmm.
nuts. You got to have like a little wrench, and then
Yep.
you're good to go. You could switch it out in like the time that
You can switch
it
it out.
takes.
Yeah, you're in the bathroom. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right. It's not like
Then walk out. Yeah,
so
and it's
you
not like
found
a.
this like this little meme inside of the world that's like you could probably be like vandalizing these spaces in this like
Mhm.
very unique way.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Positive vandalism. Exactly.
I
You're
might have to go to
adding
Oklahoma
color
and
to the
install
world.
I might have to go to Oklahoma and go to Quick Trip and install a
And that,
toilet
I
seat
have to
belt.
tell you, would be an excellent TikTok, like this, like we're saying. Like
Yeah,
that's, I mean,
that's true.
all you need is that's what's up.
Well, it was
If I
nice
create a
knowing you before
TikTok,
you were famous.
Yeah, Justin, I really appreciate you spending time with us while us mere peons here just kind of
I know you got a really
before you take
busy
off.
schedule coming up the next 6 months,
Ah.
but we
Oh
appreciate you
man.
spending time here.
Yes.
Nicono's gonna follow you right now if you make a TikTok. So
Okay. There's one.
so
I
we got
actually
to
have it. I actually have a TikTok. I just don't use it actually.
Okay.
It's nothing on there. Like I thought about making paintings and put it on there, and then like I just got busy and I didn't.
yeah.
So maybe I'll start doing that then.
You
Yeah,
could.
there's some cool
Absolutely.
stuff. I think
Yeah.
that like TikTok is actually the space where we should probably be spending more time like than Instagram. Like I spend 90% of my social media time on Instagram, but like I really should just be
Same.
spending 90% of my time on TikTok and 10%
Mm.
of my time on Instagram because the people on Instagram like know me and like me and are going to come to it regardless. But like there's such a
Right.
big opportunity on TikTok, like thinking about flipping the script of like you can get way more bang for your buck over there right now
Yeah.
than
Yeah, for sure.
Instagram right now. So yeah,
So,
there's some good vibes.
Nothing
Yeah, I mean
really there.
I really appreciate having that conversation about this because I mean for the longest time I was just like, what is going on here? Like I have to admit, it's like it didn't immediately
Mhm.
make sense to me why these paintings were operating in these spaces, and
Mhm.
I love the backstory and kind of the approach to it. Because if you can
Yeah.
keep doing that,
Yeah.
like if you can reliably keep just saying yes to like
Mhm.
opportunities for your paintings, it's like
For
so
sure.
hard to
Mhm.
do. It's so hard to
Yeah.
do, and then you can
Yeah.
just keep moving.
100%.
Yeah, 100% for sure.
I'd be
Um,
curious
It's
too
like
to like revisit, certain toilet seats and see how long they last, and if maybe some people will be like, "We just left it. We liked it. It wasn't hurting anything, so we just."
Yeah, that's true.
It's
right?
a social test too.
Just like these little moments in people's lives, and that's something that I think about a lot in my work is like what are the ways that my artistic practice can actually change people's experiences of life in ways that are like not the most, they don't have to be the like most meaningful things to ever happen to that person.
Right.
But a lot of my young artist life was like these paintings need to, like, you need to look at them and you need to weep or else I'm not doing my job as an artist.
Yeah.
But that's not the case.
Right.
So
I
if
mean,
if
yeah.
people in the chat are
Before,
interested in following, I know, yeah, you're good. Interested in following Justin, let me just put his Instagram here so you can keep up with all of the painting hijinks. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say before you show this image that you have right now, before we leave like the toilet seat lid conversation, I kind of want to. I don't know if you have that video
Oh, the video.
of it's
Is it
like a
the
it's like
brown
another
one or is it the
yeah
brown one? Okay. Yeah, I have
yeah.
that.
So that's like another toilet seat.
Give me
that
just
I
a
did.
second to pull it up. Okay.
I'd be really curious to see if people ask for commissions too, like, what input you would take from a prospective customer that would maybe be like, I kind of want this vibe, and they'd be like, okay, and then, or or like, could you see yourself doing that, or would you be more like, this is what I made, this is what I sell, you can buy the ones I sell, like commit, like
No,
would you take requests? Do you think?
yeah, I'll take requests to do like custom like if you just tell me the colors and like yeah, if you tell me like the colors, I'll most definitely do it. I can do it basically. If you just
For
tell me
sure.
the colors, I can make it. Yeah.
I'm just really trying to get your future store
Yeah.
going. You know.
Yeah, no, I feel it. I feel it.
What can I add to?
Sorry, just a brief technical hiccup here. I think that these videos came in a different way. So if you guys want to, I think I'm close to getting it. Let's see.
Let's see. See something.
No. Well, there's that, but I don't think I can play it from this window.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then.
Well, in worst case scenario, we can probably pop that up on something somewhere afterward. People see the videos, but we're gonna let Rick do his thing and valiantly try, if nothing else.
One more
Okay.
try here.
Okay.
I can do this. I can do this.
You got it, Rick. We trust you. We got it.
Display capture. Yes. Okay. There's that.
There we go. In the interzone.
Here we go. So they can you guys see this?
Yep, I can see it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Well, this is here we
go.
go.
Yeah, so it's just like a quick glance over another toilet seat.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's like a little short little clip, just to see how it looked when the paint was wet, more than when it's dry and it has resin all over it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's sick, man.
Skate Mom has coined this one the Red Sea toilet seat and says it is so pretty.
There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Skate Mom.
Okay, great. Let me reorganize my digital life here. Thanks for bearing with me on that, guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then I just had this one pulled up because I think this is one of the most recent things.
Yeah, for sure.
She saw it on Instagram, the Red Sea one. So
who saw it? Oh, the red one. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we know that's getting the people going.
Get the people going.
Yeah. So I think this one. I mean, we have this, but then we also have some poetry from you as well that we can share. So where does the poetry come from? Has that been something that you've been doing your whole life?
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, me and my mom, we used to always go to Barnes and Noble, and we would always get these books, but she would never let me get poetry books. I'm like, Mom, can I get a poetry book? I really want this book. She was like, No, you ain't gonna learn nothing from that. Get this science book. I'm like, all right, I'll get the science book. So eventually I got the science book, and a lot of things that I talk about in my poetry is kind of like space, but I also talk about spirituality. But eventually she let me buy a poetry book, and then from there I just kind of expanded reading, and then the knowledge of different types of poetry. You have haiku and all those other styles, but mine is just freestyle. But it's my poetry is very deep. I like to make the viewer think. It's none of my poetry have titles. I like to have my audience name the poem for me, basically.
Yeah.
I'm curious first, what were some of those first poetry books that you wanted and then maybe eventually got it? Got it. Yeah, got
it. I was really big on Robert Frost. I don't know. I can't really remember any of the other people back then, but now I have. Let me see. I have this book with Robert M. Drake and R.H. Sin.
Okay.
So that's a really good book if you guys want to check that out.
Cool.
It's like a collaboration with them. Um, one of my other favorite poets, his name is Rudy Francisco.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys can see it or not. This book is really
Nice.
good. It's called Helium.
Okay.
Who else? Maya Angelou. She's really Langston Hughes.
For
So I
sure.
mean, I have like a lot
Classics.
of classics, yeah. And then
Gotcha.
the ones I showed you are like newer stuff, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so we have a few of these here. And I think that um, yeah, so we have these four here, and I do really like this first one. Uh,
hmm
there's billions of souls everywhere you go, dressed in different skin and clothed with emotions.
Yeah.
Just clear, it's clear. Like
Yeah.
I think like I bring up this tentatively, and I mean this in like the best possible way, because this guy's one of my
hmm
favorite people in the world. But like Jaden Smith got like a lot of flack for his poetry and kind of the things that he says. Do you hate Jaden Smith?
No, I love
I
Jaden
love
Smith.
Jaden
I
Smith.
like
Okay.
I love his music.
Ooh, ooh, high risk, high reward. Rick
It's
was
a,
sweating for a
Yeah, no,
second.
no, yeah, no. I
it
love
really
Jaden Smith. I
is.
like his music. I like his poetry. I mean, he's just different. Like a
Yeah,
lot of people don't see him. I feel like a lot of people are quick to judge him. He
I
does.
agree.
He has done some like wild things, but like that's just him though. Like that's his personality.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and I
so
mean, like in this, like, what were you gonna
oh,
say?
I was just gonna say, for everybody who doesn't know, Jaden Smith is Will Smith's son. I think he still uses he/him pronouns and stuff like that. I don't want to
Yeah. hmm
misgender anything, but Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, musician, poet, spiritualist. I mean, his music is so good, so good.
It is.
And I think that like he got a lot of internet flack in, what was that, probably like 5 years ago, for
Maybe.
these like series of videos of him just kind of talking about the way he sees the world spiritually, and he kind of
hmm
became a meme in some ways of being kind of this like spiritualist outsider kind of celebrity's child, talking about
hmm
things that just like young people feel and young people talk about. He just had like the
Right.
stage to do it, right? But like
hmm
I agreed with everything that Jaden Smith said back then.
Yeah. No, I did too,
So I
and I
get
still
the
do.
same
Yeah.
kind of feeling from these poems as I get from like a Jaden Smith poem.
So I mean, like in this, to add a little bit more to like this to this poem, I feel like as like all of us, like me, you, Rick, Jake, and everybody in the chat, and like everybody outside the chat, um, people like we are like balls of like energy and light, and we're just like dressed in flesh, basically.
Mm.
That's how I see like us humans in general.
Mm.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So it's like,
I tend to agree. I think I have a similar kind of new age philosophy, is that like, we're here
hmm
to learn something. We're here to come together and be individuated aspects of kind of like this collective consciousness, right? Like
hmm
the brief primer on my spirituality is like God can't know itself as God. So God has to break into different parts to experience itself as God, right?
hmm
And we kind of like come to the world in these little individuated aspects, all with our own little journeys, and trying to
yeah, for sure.
kind of come together. And we have differences and stuff, but like
Yeah,
on a spiritual level,
I
I feel
mean,
a kinship with everyone.
yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of things are like universal. Like a lot of things we feel are universal, and a lot of people feel the same type of things or go through the same type of things.
Mm.
I also really like about this piece where you're saying like there's billions of souls everywhere you go, which is to say like, you physically aren't around a billion people at once, but
Right.
who is to say there hasn't been a billion people in the
Mm.
place where you are right this moment in the past?
Exactly.
So like the
hmm
spirit of the things that have happened have culminated to this moment of this space that you're in. And I think that the idea of like taking the past and kind of making it present like that, like there's billions of souls everywhere
Mhm.
you go, dressed in different, it's just, it makes it, I feel like it expands on like the now, to me. Like that's what I get from that first line especially.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like even if like people has passed, I mean, their spirit is like still around. So I mean, like wherever you are, like their spirits there with you. Um, and like we're spirits ourselves. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and energy can't be destroyed, right? It can only just move
Right.
into
Yeah.
another thing. So it's like you're saying with energy,
Exactly.
like that totally makes sense that our
Hmm.
spirits as energy uh beings, I guess, like that never really leaves.
No. Yeah, you're right for sure.
Yeah. Let's
I
let's.
like this breakdown of.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also hope it like
No,
you
no, no.
don't we don't need to
No,
give our
you're
full
good.
opinion, but at the same time this is I think really effective work and it makes thoughts happen, it makes feelings happen. So
Yeah, no,
I want
I
to show
like you
that to
guys
you.
just. I like you guys' opinions because I like with my poetry. I never get to really hear other people's opinions of
Mm,
like my work. They might
mhm.
say, "Oh, I like that. That's good," but they don't never really go into like details and like what they like about it. They just say like
Gotcha.
they like it.
Well,
Well,
welcome
I
to the
appreciate you.
detail room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the breakdown. Yes.
We could spend an hour on this poem if we
Yeah, you
needed
really
to.
could.
You
I
know.
swear we could. Yeah.
You know.
That's oh man.
I think it's great. I mean, to just hammer that point home, I have to say one more thing about it is that like we're living inside of lineages, and this is something that I think
Yeah.
about so much is that like we're living inside all of these different lineages of people who did things with their bodies, who did things like in the physical world that we're constantly inhabiting. Like the people that
Hmm.
built the road that we drive on like are real people. Like they spent precious moments of their lives doing this thing like for society. And maybe they were
Yeah.
getting money for it, right? But like they were doing that for an infinity of reasons that were like
Hmm.
unique to them that got them to that place to spend their time doing that particular thing. And that's like every single brick on the house and like every single, road is like there were
Hmm.
stories around that. They were somebody ate lunch that day and they had like a sandwich, right? Like sitting on this like
Hmm.
dirt road that's like half dirt, half pavement. There's like all of
Right.
these stories that are just like mixing in all of these different places that we
Accumulating.
go.
Yeah.
And like I feel like you, Justin,
Hmm.
are like in the same way, is it like you're treating these things as precious or you're thinking about these things as precious. And Skate Mom
Yeah,
says,
for
and their
sure.
souls imprint and they stay.
Mm,
Yeah. Very deep.
love that.
I like that.
We got another one here. Um, our bodies are high powered operating systems that has daily checkups.
I
Okay.
mean,
So there's your connection to
like,
technology there. The
yeah.
real world and the technological world and like using computer lingo as like a means of better understanding ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. So like with this one, it's like whenever you wake up in the morning, I mean, not even like when you wake up in the morning, like let's say when you're sleeping, your body goes into this. I'm gonna say an autopilot feeling. I guess we would just say that. Um, I feel like our bodies are like operating systems. Like if like in a system, let's say the system wakes up and it goes through all these different things. It like checks off like its list every morning. Let's say you wake up in the morning, you get up, and it's just like inside your body. It's not so much of the outside of your body. It's like what's going on inside.
Mm.
So it's like I feel like when you wake up, it's like your body is like um, it's hard to explain. Like I have it in my head. It's just like hard to. It's almost like oh man, I can. I'm gonna have to think about it, and
That's
then like,
okay.
No,
it's like
for
I know
sure.
what I want to
Speaks for
say, and
itself.
it's
You can
just
return to
like,
that for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, why don't we take some time? Let's take some time away, and we can come back after the
Okay.
break
For sure.
and run through some of these poems and talk about the meaning of life. And hello, everyone. Welcome back. We had a little break. Important things happened over the break. I talked to my girlfriend, and she's making food, and she's food prepping for us, which is awesome, and it smells really good. So if you see me just kind of sniffing, then that might be what's going on. Secondly, in other news, Jake got some apple juice
I did.
and has proceeded to drink all of it
I did. I drank it
immediately.
quickly.
And if you're enjoying the show and you want to continue to see shows like this, drop a follow. It really helps. I have some links of ways that you can connect with the travel agency that I put in chat there. So we have a store and we have an Instagram and we have a Discord channel for people who want to talk about art, something that's really new for me. So if you join that over there, we can connect on that. And I'm also going to drop Justin's links in the chat. Our guest Justin here. We've had a great time so far. Now we're in kind of like the last hour of the show. You can check out his Instagram, and I'm sure you can just like DM him if you want to buy some paintings or buy a painted toilet
Yeah.
seat or anything that
Or
you're
just a
interested in.
painting in general.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just hang out with him and talk with him over there. So across the break, Jake mentioned that he had a question. This is kind of where we left off.
For sure. And Rick, if you wouldn't mind going to the previous one. So like the line, and this is my question for kind of the structural process of this poetry work.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like again, like I was talking about from a music background, that like I look at like some poetry, like lyrics or something, and that you think a complete thought has to happen in each line, and then the next line is a complete thought. In this one, I feel like the line dressed indifferent, like if that was like its own line on its own, it's very thought provoking. But with the next beginning, it's like dressed in different skins and colored with emotions. And then back to the one we were just looking at, like this one, that has daily. These kind of like dressed in different, that has daily, like feel very
Yeah.
sort of incomplete at first, but then I reread them and I feel like, wow, like structurally I feel like he's trying to get me to go somewhere else with it. So I was kind of curious about
Yeah,
like
for
your
sure.
line break thought process.
Yeah. So like, I would tell you about the line break process. A lot of whenever I'm writing poetry, I listen to music. So when you said you used to do music, like, so that plays like a huge part in like my um, poetry writing when I'm like writing stuff like this. Um, but like for the line break, it's like, you know, I never even like really thought about like how like my lines break. It was just like me
Okay.
writing it so fluidly, and it just came to me, and then like in that like setup, like for like the when you read like our bodies are high powered operating systems that have daily, like that word daily. Then if you go back to the other one, it has like the other words you were talking about, where it says dressed in different skins and clothed with emotions. I see what you're saying, but like as far as when you say you got lost, I wish like when in my poetry I try to make it's like real vague in a sense, because I want the my audience to dig a little deeper within, like think for themselves, and like dig a little bit more than just like reading it, basically. So
For
yeah, I want
sure.
you to think more. I want you to think more of what I'm saying and like comprehend like what I'm trying to like express to you,
Mm.
basically.
Well, and I'm very novice to poetry myself, but I feel like the more I learn about it, I think about it like sort of like the physics of the words, you know, sort of. It's like
Mhm.
like dressed in different skins. Like I feel like myself like falling off, but I'm like, wait, now we're gonna jump back over here to complete
Right.
the thought, you know, like
Mhm.
um I think it's made me feel like
Yeah.
my brain is working out today right now. Like I'm getting some
Yeah.
crunches in. This is good for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have kind of like a I don't know if everybody knows this about me, but I am very, very interested in like rap music and like make lyrical music myself. I'm a rapper, but I'm not a rapper. Shout out Super Hot Fire. Uh, but yeah. See, Justin knows what I'm talking about. Um,
Oh man.
Fire flames.
yeah,
Bars.
yeah.
Rick's got bars. That's what we're saying.
So then there are these bars that also the way that I see them, like our bodies are high powered operating systems, and then you like kind of want it to have that next like boom boom, but then you have
Mhm.
that has daily checkups, like which is kind of like subverts some of these things. Like our bodies are high powered, and then it moves, it like sets up the next thing, but it's like no, it's not like that. It's like they have daily checkups,
Yeah. No.
you
No.
know?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I actually have poetry that is like that. That is like that. Like where it has that impact on every like the next break. It's like our powers are high. Or wait. It says our bodies are high powered operating systems, and it just falls flat. I mean, I get what you're saying,
Hmm.
but like on like with different poems, or maybe in some of these other ones that we haven't talked about might have that little punch, the
Yeah.
continuous punch.
But it's good. It doesn't have to. You know, I think that's what like a lot of
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
rappers do is that like they set something up and then they subvert it. You know, like and as kind of
Right.
contrast to like the punchline. Like the punchline
hmm
rap that was like Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne like definitely like cured us of all of our needs of punchlines because he's just like the punchline
Right.
king. And then Nicki like in that like post Wayne world, after Wayne had just like
hmm
conquered everything in the entire world, then Nikki was like,
hmm
but what if there were more punchlines? Like, what if like everything was a punchline? And she just like started to craft these like lyrical masterpieces that were like so
hmm
dense and taut with like these punchlines that then
hmm
like you expected it at every turn from her, and she was always plotting, and then that like led us into kind of like a post contemporary vision of rap music that like starts to subvert the punchline, starts to like
hmm
say like, oh, you expect this rhythm, but like let me like kind of surprise you. And Nakono has a bars emote, which I really like that emote, so I need to get myself a bars emote. But yeah, I think that stuff that you're thinking about, you know, is there's like you can set up expectation in prose and poetry, and then you can also like subvert it like pretty immediately.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Or-
music,
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh.
oh, Madeline Bryce
Oh.
Art, thank you for the follow, Madeline Bryce. Everybody,
Um,
check out her video on demand on Twitch from last week
Hmm.
for another week, and then it'll be going up on YouTube. Good to see you, Madeline.
and Rick, I just have to say, since you brought up Lil Wayne, what is his famous line? It's like, I've got 15 bathrooms, I can shit
Shit
all
all day,
day.
yeah.
I was just like, we're talking toilet seats. So it's like, and
Yeah.
Justin, you said you have three
That's funny.
bathrooms, so like you can shit all day
I
with your
do.
own art. You know, like you're
That's
set up, man. I was just looking for that opportunity, and you brought it to me, Rick. So thank you. It
there
was
we
a
go. You just been
alley-oop
sitting on it.
moment.
If
I
Jake
have.
has been distracted at all over the past hour, just know he was just trying to find the right moment.
I was just like, how do I get this line in here? And then Rick gave it to me. But
I mean, if you wait
thank you.
long enough, I'll always like. You don't have to wait super long for me to bring Lil Wayne up. If you want to say something about Lil Wayne, I'm on like a 3 hour cycle of like every
Yeah,
3 hours I talk about how important he is to me.
that has been historically true in my experience. So
Um, But yeah, we can move over here to the concert is a gathering of souls that is attracted to one type of energy.
I feel like with this one, it's so I actually went to this concert in New York probably like 2 years ago, and it was actually called Afro Punk, and it had like all these
Oh
different
yeah.
like artists, and it was just like everybody was just vibing together. Like
Hmm.
there was no, it was like just so peaceful, and I feel like all concerts are like, I mean, I wouldn't say all concerts are like peaceful because I mean it's it depends like what type of genre of music you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean like everyone's vibing to the music regardless of what type of music. Um, and when I was there, I just felt like so at home. Like
Mm.
the energy was like super calm. I mean, I'm a calm person in general, but like there it was just like calm and you can just like be yourself type thing.
Mm.
Um, Also, I want to say like when I'm writing like these poems, the space I have to be in is like it's so weird because like um, it has to be like almost a quiet, but like I listen to music, so I listen to Mac Miller a lot. That's like my favorite
Mm.
artist. Um,
R.I.P.
and I like, yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I'll like turn on his music, and like I will sit there and listen. Like I know all the words to all his songs, but um, and I'll like sit there and I'll listen, and like he would say something, and like I'll take it into my context of what I think he's talking about, and then like I'll put it in like my own words, and then I'll write poetry.
Hmm.
Hmm. So it's almost like a
So yeah,
remix, sort of, or something.
yeah, like yeah, it's almost like yeah, kind of like a remix, but like in like my own like feelings, I guess.
Totally.
That's awesome.
What I like about this particular one too is it to me it feels very like almost like a definition, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like, and I like that idea
Yeah, I
of
can see that.
like it's like you're like as if it's like concert. A concert is a gathering of souls that is attracted to one type of energy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, and you're like you're
Mm-hmm.
bringing the soul to a definition, not just like the very
Right.
uh I don't know, a scientific dull but precise, you know, definition of
Mm-hmm.
something. Like you're getting to the essence of how
Yeah.
it feels, you know, almost in a way.
Right.
Yeah, I do think about like the even playing with that structure too. Here's my critique mind. That's like concert hyphen parentheses noun like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
gathering of soul, like just say like stating it in this way that's like so matter of fact, which is what it's doing.
Yeah.
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 Skate Mom in the chat says, I feel like you could also convert
Right.
this to a gathering is a concert of souls,
Oh,
which that's big vibes.
Yeah.
there's a
True.
remix on the remix. There you go.
Yeah, that is big vibes.
We're at the night night
Right.
the night show right now.
Yeah.
It's lit.
Don't open that window, Rick. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I would never let out that antidote.
Oh man.
All right. Okay, we've got to get a soundboard. We have to.
It's
It's-
lit.
Yeah. We have to have that.
Yeah, I need to. Well,
We
let's.
might
Yeah,
have to
Jake,
like
that's on you.
Oh, that's on me. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll take responsibility for that for sure.
you might have to like zoom out on this one. I don't know if you can or not.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. Let me.
you can't really see.
I can. I can work my magic. Uh,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh.
We'll get
Oh
there.
God. Whoa.
Oh.
Wrong one.
It's like in Photoshop, you grab one layer and then you actually ruin your entire project
Grab all of
just
them. Yeah.
instantly.
All right, Rick.
I do that in Instagram all the time. I'm trying to just expand the text and I ended up like shifting the whole
Mhm.
photo or something. Like, son of a dawn, I hate that.
There we go. There we
I do
go.
that all the time too.
Yeah. Hey, that's a wide
Hey, there
one.
we go.
He
Yeah, it
reveals.
is.
There we go.
Okay, so this one reads. Oh.
Oh.
I think this is a great one to kind of end this conversation on too of this
Yeah,
poetry.
for sure.
It's beautiful that our mothership makes outrageous but soothing noises, that rumbles throughout our living corners, the bright striking lights that flash in the night sky. Reminds me of a camera flash. It only lasts for a few seconds. The smell of rain that nurture us, and the sounds from heaven that protect us is called Mother.
I'm just rereading here. I'm gonna get this in. I always have to read something like 6 times before I like really set in for me.
No, it's totally fine. It's a lot to take in. I mean, with this one, it's like I want to add, well, like I feel like everything has vibrations, and like we are a vibration. Like each human has its own vibration, and I kind of want to just add that within like all my poetry.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I talk about like humans and souls and stuff like that. Yeah, I just want to add that in there.
Yeah.
With this one, but for this one, I'm really just talking about like a thunderstorm, really.
Mm.
And we actually had one last night. That's great.
We did, yeah. That's what came to my mind too.
Feels serendipitous.
Yeah, there's a cleansing nature to those storms, which I think is really
Mm-hmm.
important.
Well, and it feels very like I like that it's like you're saying it's beautiful that our mothership, and then at the very last line, from heaven that protect us, sounds from heaven that protect us is called Mother. So it's like there is a mothership, and then we're kind of rounding out back to the mother and to the full kind of space.
So when I say mothership, I'm talking about like Earth as in like general. I just call it like Earth our mothership because it just reflects back onto like nature as a whole and how it kind of like nurtures, like the rain nurtures like our plants and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much as this. I mean, the sounds are like soothing to our ears, and it puts us in this like calm state of mind. I mean, because like I feel like a lot of people are like whenever it's like storming, it's like really relaxing to hear those noises of like the lightning or the sound of the thunder and the lightning. It almost puts you in this just like this calm, peaceful state. It's like I feel like a lot of people like to go to sleep when it's storming, basically. And I've heard like a lot of people say they like when it storms because it's like really calm for them.
Yeah, it is calming and soothing most of the time. It almost puts me into kind of this like hibernation state. Like maybe this is how it felt like when I knew the rain was coming, that I needed to like prehistoric Rick needed to like burrow, needed to find like a little corner and like pull a leaf, like get a giant leaf and kind of be under it, right? It's just kind of like close down the world. Like you're not going to get anything done out there. So like limit your space, like limit yourself to the cave, like limit yourself to just being at home now. Cuz like there's no way I'm like going outside when it's storming. Like unless I have to. I'm never ever choosing to do that. Like, oh, this sounds like a great time to go to the park. It's like, no, it sounds like a great time to put on a movie and to chill.
Exactly.
Right?
Get you some snacks, some popcorn, some ice cream, and just relax. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. Cool.
Well, yeah. And my last little thought is just like this to me, like I feel like almost kind of sums up almost even like your painting work too. Like it feels very natural. Like it has like throughout all this piece, it feels very just like you're looking for this like sensuous kind of energy emphasis, and even this I think feels like I see your painting kind of in the words, kind of moving in that way.
Just being one with itself. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right on, man. Thanks for sharing.